Hello, beautifuls. You guys know me getting set up. Always in motion. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know for those of you that are driving, obviously can't comment. So please don't feel like you need to comment, especially if you are driving. Please, please, please. So welcome, welcome, beautifuls. I am going to, well, no. I made a post. Yeah. Just checking in with myself to make sure that I had posted that I was live. So just going to give an opportunity for others to drop in. There we go. I popped out just to let everyone know in our group space. So, yay! So excited, Akindara. So excited that you are choosing to be here. What a beautiful conversation we had. What a beautiful point of connection and remembrance. 1 second. Let me check something really quickly. One second, you guys. Okay. All right. Okay. Awesome. Steph, Akindara, welcome. Welcome, 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 you guys. My dad was texting me a picture of getting my baby Brew a new harness. So he was texting me a picture. He was like, it's extra, extra large, so it should work. It's a really pretty turquoise color too, like teal turquoise. So I'm really excited. Good morning, Becca. Welcome, welcome, beautifuls. Oh, hey, I love that little heart with the heart, like a heart hand with the heart in the middle. That's really cool. Thank you for sharing that, Akindara. It's interesting because I'm watching, you know, the theme, if you will, of this gathering today is unity and sovereign choice and honoring sovereign choice. And it's very interesting because I'm actually watching Bruiser, my fur baby starseed, move through what it feels like for him, because this is I see this very much reflected in parents and children, and especially young children, and also with us and animals, where they always have our guidance, and we are always basically guiding them through choice or telling them what is right, what is wrong, what should be chosen, what should not be chosen. And as I began to back away from, you know, always being there and always focusing my energy and trying to attempt to control, you know, how he moves, when he moves, what he chooses, as I pulled away from that so much more, I'm actually watching him go through some of, you know, like we were talking about Akindara in our call. It's almost like a grieving. He's moving through a grieving because I'm not there all the time. And he's moving through understanding that he can make a choice, and that choice is okay, and he's safe in his choice, and that he doesn't need me to tell him, you know, quite literally, he doesn't need me to tell him he's anything, even as an animal, because he has the capacity to survive. We are all wired for survival. Every single human being, every single animal is wired for survival. So we actually don't need anyone to tell us, but that's how we've been conditioned. So it's very interesting watching him move through that. Welcome, Mina. Welcome, Shauna. So it's really cool. It's really cool. And it's also a very, very beautiful, oh, it's just 444. It's also very, very beautiful because it allows me to see that, you know, he's not too happy about the fact that I am not there and just focusing all my energy there at one time. but it also brings a level of appreciation. I appreciate and honor and am super, super grateful for the moments that we have together. And it brings a new level of appreciation into the exchange between us. So, and it's free from dependency and codependency. So it's really, really cool. Um, so you guys, I am so grateful to have you here. And this gathering, of course, as I'm sure everyone is aware from the title, is based around the choice of sovereign sacred authority. And because this is based around sovereign sacred authority and the choice, we are going to be illuminating some aspects that are very, very present in the collective right now. And if this is a space that you are stepping into and you are not feeling resonance or joy from being here, you do not have to be here. If you choose to be in this space to receive from a space just because it's live and you have an opportunity to come up here and be like, hey, look at me. I respect that. I honor that, but it is not necessary. So as we move forward, we're going to be anchoring into our sovereign pillar, our space where we are free, and where we are allowing ourselves to accept and receive in a way that is able to view all truths, that's able to see all that's here right now. And wherever you feel resistance to anything that is brought through, that is an opportunity for you to witness yourself in that moment and see why. Why is this triggering me, and why do I feel resistance to just experiencing an exchange of what I am experiencing, what I have come to understand, and what is happening through this point of mastery for myself and those that I'm connecting with. I'm not expressing it from a place that's telling you what you need or what you don't need. You have sovereign free will choice. And if that sovereign free will choice is upheld from a place of true sovereignty, then we allow ourselves to accept and receive while simultaneously allowing ourselves to honor only that which is aligned. So if something is not aligned, it's interesting because we think we know when people or situations or places are aligned to us. But the truth is that a lot of times we have not sat in the presence of our own witness. We have not sat in the presence. We have not exchanged with ourselves from a place of freedom without need. And because of this, we seek it. We seek it. And because we seek it, we end up exchanging with people. We end up joining groups, right? This is a big one in the spiritual community right now, where we quite literally have a lot that's available. And because of this, we have a tendency to jump into many places simultaneously, or we will jump into a place and we're not really even sure why. It's because we think there's something there that we need. But the truth is that we don't need anything. There is nothing outside of us that we need. Everything is within us. So as we move forward into this exchange of light, I am going to invite you right now to take a moment, just taking a deep breath. And dropping into your pillar. This begins, the entry point is your heart. And my invitation for you is to honor your anchor here, to honor your presence here, to allow yourself to view all that is presented and all that is exchanged from a space of what is resonant and what is aligned. And if anything triggers, once again, allowing yourself to view why. Where is the resistance coming from? Because everything that is expressed here is expressed freely. It is not telling you what you need or what you don't need. So if it's expressed freely and you are triggered by a free expression of sovereign sacred authority, then that is an opportunity for you to witness within yourself where you are limiting yourself from your own sovereign sacred expression that is free. So, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Thank you. This is Aoasi, and I welcome each and every one of you into this space and into this exchange. It's very interesting because right now we are in such a collective, massive collective reclamation, and there are two lines that are flowing right now. Two lines, and this has been present, but it's been like even more noticeable recently. We've got a line of distorted data, and we've got a line of sovereign sacred source light. So everything is source. We understand this, but the line of distorted data is an agreed upon line of separation, which means it is serving a divine purpose because it was chosen. But in order for separation to become whole and complete, and in order for divine chaos to come into divine order, there must be a shift in choice. The choices that are being made through chaos or an exchange of information and data, in order for you to come into divine sovereign experiences, there must be a shift in choice. So how do we know when we are going to exchange with others if we are expressing, or I'm sorry, if we're choosing to exchange from a place that is sovereign? I'm going to ask you this question right here. Why are you choosing? Why are you choosing what you are choosing? Are you choosing it because you feel like you need something? Are you choosing it because you feel like you have to receive something there? Is there something that has been presented where you feel like I need that because I need to understand what is being given so that I can understand that aspect within myself? Or I need this certification in order to validate what I have learned so that I can show the world that I hold an authority of light through this certification of remembrance. The one thing that I have always expressed is that there is no certification for the soul. We don't prove to others what we know. We are not meant to, not as we ascend into unity. We're not here to prove. We are here to express. And we're not here to demand or command or offer from a place of authority or servitude. But this is also what's happening in a lot of gathering spaces, is that you have a mentor aspect, or you have leaders, and then you have those that been, let's say, the leader of the space. And then a lot of times when there's co-collaborations, you have multiple leaders that have been appointed, and thus you have a form of hierarchy in a systematic approach. It's very systematic. And I understand this because myself, I am holding a contract and an agreement where I've been experiencing this, and it's been beautiful because it's allowed me an opportunity to step into an experience that I normally would not have chosen. And I realized why I chose it. I chose it because I felt like I needed that connection. I chose it because I felt like there was something there that I myself could not attain. I felt like that if I had that connection, I could reach more people. I could get the word out. I could allow others to experience the truth of initiation into consciousness. But that's also why I have birthed a container, which is completely dedicated to that contract. That's the agreement of the space. That's what that's what's continuously in motion. And so what has been witnessed as these two lines of chosen collaboration and co-creation through a space of data exchange and hierarchy, where there are those that are placed in a position with a title and a role and said, this is what you offer because this is what you are, and this is the title and the role that you uphold. And through the title and the role that you are upholding, you represent that. And thus, these people will receive through you in this way. And it's very structured, which is also very limited. The order of the rose, just like every other order of consciousness, is not a singular materialistic deity based initiation. It is simply an initiation into mastery. The first ranges of mastery that are available through us are those of the heart. And since we are connecting through the heart, it is important to remember that we also must be very, very conscious in what we are choosing. And in and of this, we must be conscious of what we are choosing and why we are choosing it. Our sovereign authority is our ability to stand in our pillar and express our light, like I am doing right now, without concern with what anyone thinks or how anyone is receiving it. It's not my responsibility for what you receive. It's not my responsibility for how you receive. It's not my responsibility what you hear and what you don't hear. The only responsibility, if you even want to call it that, because that word is very, very loaded and very distorted, my only purpose is to stand right here in this moment and express truth. My truth through my experiences and those that I have had with others. And through this experience, I express my sovereign authority of light, and I declare this is what's here now. But I am not telling anyone what to think or what to do, and therefore our lines of communication have been distorted because those that tune in have an expectation of what we must say, how we must present it, the framework in which it must be presented. And therefore we attempt to meet expectations through ourselves based on what we think others expect of us. But those expectations are very, very limited, because expectations hold us captive. Our relationships in this realm have been built upon expectations and separation. So it's also been limited by words. This is why we're shifting into a space where we can express light openly, freely, without the need to understand. But that's also a very interesting concept if you think about it, because we come into these spaces declaring we're expressing light while simultaneously needing to understand what the light represents. What like needing some form of message in the light. So I love that, Mina 44. So this is where we allow ourselves to honor what we are choosing and why we are choosing it. Are you accepting agreements within yourself, which then reflects into your agreements with others? Are you accepting agreements within yourself that deny you your sovereign sacred expression? Where you are not fully shining because you're afraid you just don't know? Like, maybe I won't express the right thing. Maybe I'll say something that hurts somebody's feelings. Maybe the choice that I make won't offer me the connections that I feel I need. Maybe if I don't connect to this group, I won't understand what I need to understand. I love you too, Steph. So we don't need anything from anyone. We don't. And the more that we give focus and attention to that which is not necessary, the more that we enliven the distortion. This is why we are guardians of frequency. And I have begun to understand this really clearly. Really clearly. When we are at an octave of purity and we understand this, we accept it, we express it, and then we allow ourselves to choose an exchange just simply for the sake of exchange. Simply for the sake of, let me tell you what I received. Let me tell you what's coming through my channel. And it's not in a contract that has been invested and agreed upon. It's a free exchange, like in a private message. And you take everything that you have received within your sovereign channel and you pass it on to someone else who is in a state of need, meaning they need data, they need information, they need to understand. Then what you have brought forward in a state of purity will be taken, distorted, and redistributed from a place of manipulated light. Meaning someone is taking that which you expressed and is saying, hey, I understand this. I am this. I embody this. When in fact they don't. They're just regurgitating. They're regurgitating data, and they're merely reverberating words. They don't understand it on a deeper level. This is again another distortion within the collective where we're meant to gather, we should gather, we need to gather, we need to exchange, we need. This is about remembering together. It is. It's not about remembering together in that way though. Remembering happens internally. The collective gathering is always and ever a vibrational tone, a frequency of unity, where we gather internally in a state of consciousness that is in an agreement of conscious remembrance through sovereign choice. And when we are together and unified in the choice, then we are gathered and unified in remembrance. We're not being taught anything, and there's no outline, instructions, or schedule to follow. There's no PowerPoint, there's no book. I mean, there's none of that. Because the more that you are engaged in data, the less you are engaged in sovereignty. And I would like for you to take a minute and to feel that. When you are consuming data, you are consuming a continuous vibration of excitedness. And this excitedness has a tendency to be reflected through us very clearly, because we're always wanting to exchange. We're always receiving. But the truth of consciousness is that it is not a continuous hammering of codes. You are not being pelted with downloads, and you are not being pelted with upgrades. If that is the perception you hold, then you are in a conscious connection of data, a choice of data. Everything that happens through conscious sovereignty is a choice. You are choosing to receive, meaning you requested to receive. Either you're holding a contract within yourself that is requesting to receive through the channel of sovereign self, which means this is where you receive, and you receive in the exact aligned moment where it is necessary. Okay? And you and you alone have your remembering. Now, rememberings in connections with others, if you are having a remembering in a connection with another soul, and that soul is not present and in agreement along with you in the eternal infinite now, it is a projected remembering. Because everything in this realm is based on choice. They must accept, they must agree, and they must be present in the exchange of that wave of consciousness, where the libraries, the codices within the DNA is activated in the exchange through energy. The link between the two in the heart takes place. We have become so adept. At the condition in which we feel like we are entitled. We are entitled because we are here as light workers, if you will. That's a very distorted term, but because we are here to do some sort of work within the light, and therefore we uphold a hierarchy, a sense of entitlement. And even those that claim that they don't, they do, or they are, or they have. So this entitlement comes with, I am entitled to receive all ascended masters, all information, all of everything, all the time. And I am entitled. I don't have to request it. I am entitled to it. I am entitled to it, which means when I come into a space, whatever you share with me, I can claim it, even if I haven't had that experience. I can claim it, and I can say it's resonant, because resonance simply means you feel something in there that aligns with a higher aspect of you. It aligns with an aspect of you, and that could be an aspect of you that you have yet to dial into completely. And that resonance that you could be receiving is asking you to go deeper into something that you're receiving, instead of taking it at face value and just continuously passing it on. Like, oh, yeah, that's resonant. I'm activated. Let me just regurgitate that immediately. That's one line. And that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm glad you're staying open to that. Um, Another thing that's very present is, let's say it's not regurgitated right away, but you're always and ever continuously exchanging information or data. You're always and ever ingesting books. You're always and ever in personal messages with others. You're always and ever connected into multiple groups simultaneously. You're always and ever connected into one-on-ones. You're always and ever doing something where energy is in an exchange in a way that keeps you excited, like, oh yeah, this, oh yeah, this, oh yeah, this, and I need to reply to this, and I need to respond to this. And even if you disconnect momentarily during the day, you are still not disconnected from the contract you hold, which means even if you go into meditation, you disconnect, you go for a walk, your energy is still being streamed into a contract of data, which means wherever you have agreed to receive yourself through that contract, that's the way you receive yourself, and that's the way others receive you. Our sovereign sacred self does not need to be witnessed by others, and it does not need to be in a group where others are supporting. It doesn't need that. Our sovereign sacred self feels the support of source. It feels the support of the sovereignty. It feels the support of the sacredness. It doesn't need that from anyone else or anything else. It doesn't need to visit a location on this planet to receive an activation, because that's proclaiming something's outside of you. That's proclaiming, I am not able to uphold my own power without the support of another, which means you funnel your energy into others instead of bringing it into here and then expressing and just allowing others to gather and to be a part of your own witness. So that's the magnet of light, is you're never alone. Never. When you're in sovereignty, when you're in sacredness, you are always and ever witnessed by every single soul, every single aspect of consciousness that is also viewing through source self. You are never alone. And this is a realm of physical connection. So our agreements in fifth dimension, or shifting out of 3D to 5D and 4D, the contracts are meant to be coming from a place of conscious choice through sovereign free will. So we incorporate our free will through sovereignty, not through desire and not through need, just simply through sovereignty, which means we don't connect anywhere because we need to or because we have to. We do not exchange because we are told to or because there is an instruction on how to. We exchange because in that moment, the energy free flowing through us is an expression, and we allow it to flow. And therefore, anyone that is there is able to express and exchange through us. If not, everything will be expressed and aligned in the divine moment it is meant to. We always and ever align to what we choose. Always. And if you are continuously choosing to stay or do or be in the same way for fear of missing out, for fear of being alone, for fear that you need someone outside of you to reflect something back to you, you're still attached. You're holding everything that you're experiencing and not everything, but the majority. There's a fragment of you that is exchanging through attachment. And this means that we've projected ourselves through the mind into this space, and we can only ever receive that aspect of ourself back. So when we project ourselves through mind, through that court of exchange, through that group or that person or those people, then the only thing we can ever receive back is that, because that's what we've chosen. So, yep, absolutely, Mina, absolutely. And so we understand. So let's say we make a choice to go and do something or experience something because we think someone has something we need. And we arrive and we realize, no, there's nothing here that I don't have access to myself. We have two different paths moving forward from there. We can, there's always the direct closeout, which is accepting, honoring that that wasn't the direct path of ascension, meaning of sovereignty, but it was still an opportunity for mastery. We honor that, we reclaim that choice, or we can go and we can enjoy the journey of the experience until it closes itself out in time. Meaning, let's say you've for a retreat or something, and you end up going to the retreat even though you realized it's not aligned, and you reinstate your contract with yourself. So you're still going to have lines of energy that you're exchanging with others that is not aligned, but you can still uphold the majority of the exchange from a place of higher awareness. That's mastery. So this path is about mastery. Inward vision is about viewing through a lens of mastery. That's the true vision through the heart, where when we turn inwards, we are able to see ourselves through a perception that does not need or want anything. It is merely viewing through a lens that has mastered those aspects of self, and is viewing through the lens of mastery, and is ascending into the receivership of a higher perception of mastery. That's the upward spiral of ascension. That's the upward spiral of initiation through consciousness. The higher you rise in master choice, the higher you rise in octaves of consciousness, because every choice is more and more and more conscious and more aligned to higher octaves of sovereignty. This is the embodiment of mind, body, soul. When mind, body, soul are whole and complete, this is because there has been a marriage of heart and mind where you're no longer projecting yourself through choice. You're no longer projecting yourself through want or need, but you are allowing everything to come into you through one choice. And that one choice is always and ever upholding sovereignty. That's it. That's the path. That's it. Every choice should be connecting into upholding sovereignty. We do not need anyone to tell us who we are, what we are. We do not need to be handed roles, titles, or names. We do not need to be told what position we are available in or through. And initiations of consciousness, such as the rose, are not compartmentalized. The lines of Hathor, Magdalene, Isis, when we compartmentalize them, we declare, I'm only receiving through this line. Consciousness is a totality. It's all. It's just a range of frequencies, a range of octaves, ranges of light, and each holding a tone of consciousness, a song, a frequency, a vibration. And within that octave, within that note of creation, there are libraries of experience, opportunities of experience. So this is where we remember our activated self through that which we have mastered. The mission in this realm, in order for right now, in order for this realm to come out of divine chaos into divine order, we chose to reclaim separation through sovereignty. So where choice has been manipulated and distorted, we have chosen to bring ourselves into a state of sovereignty so that we can reclaim the lines of distortion, which are the lines of data. Because everyone has access to the information of this planet. The Akash is available. It's available. For those that are here to care, those that are here that are ascending through master tones, you have access to anything and everything you need. And this is why you step into that, so that you can guide from a place of vibration and tone, which assists in unlocking those gateways, if you will, through the heart for others. It allows them to find their way in based on your presence, your tone, your authority of light. By declaring and proclaiming, it's available. It's an option. You can choose it. You don't have to deny it. And you don't have to deny it for the sake of fitting in or belonging, because those are the loops that we have already had an opportunity to experience. We've experienced separation. We've experienced not belonging. We've experienced false belonging. We've experienced the false mother, the false father, the false child, all of it, because all are separate from each other and all are brought into this realm through conditions, all of us. So the only way that we can free ourselves from conditions is to stop accepting contracts where they are placed upon us. There should be no conditions to remembering. There should be no conditions to ascension. There should be no conditions for exchange. None. If you step into a space and there are so many people and there's so much going on and there's so much being exchanged, then you're dependent upon what is being exchanged to a degree, because that's what you've agreed upon. When we gather in numbers, it's meant to be in the place of now, right now, not predestined, not fragmented in another space of time. Although I understand that also is something we're moving out of. So we have scheduling and all of that. But if you're going to schedule, I would invite you to do so from a place of free flowing, where it doesn't have to be on a certain day. It can be exactly when it happens, and it happens exactly when it is meant to. For my group, I just reach out and say, hey, what do you guys got? What's your schedule like coming up? And we do it in a way where we get everyone's availability and we flow into that experience. But it's never a place where they have to be. Never a place where they have to be. So it's where they choose to be. And I ask them before bringing it through, is this the day, is this the time that you choose? And if that is, then we come into it together. And that also allows it to be free flowing. As in a moment, I'm going to shift into some points of activation and calibration, but I really would like for everyone to take a moment and to ask themselves, thank you, Steph. I know you feel that, right? Take a moment and ask yourself, why am I choosing? What am I? Look at what you're choosing. Love you, Mina. Look at what you're choosing, and then I would like for you to ask yourself why. I feel like there's a misconception that if we honor sovereignty, that somehow we are not honoring relationships or connections with others, that if we honor sovereignty, that we're somehow not honoring human, that we're just negating a human experience, because somehow people have this idea that sovereignty and divinity is something that only comes when you, I feel like it's like this thing that's outside of themselves. It's outside of themselves. That's the way they view it. And so it's almost like I'm going to deny my sovereignty and my divinity because I haven't had all the human experiences I want to have. Because I need to make the mistakes, and I need to have the relationships, and I need to have the connections, and I need to understand the emotions. But the truth is that you already do, you already have, and you don't need. That everything on a human level is available through the divine level, and they are one and the same. And in order for your sovereign divinity to be presented through you, you must choose it, you must acknowledge it, you must accept it. And the only way that your human can be the most free-flowing, beautiful, divine experience is if you allow it to be a part of the whole. Instead of this, I see this very commonly where because people understand that they're of a cosmic order of they're not of this planet, then they say, well, I don't really want to be here, and I have a hard time being in the body, and I have a hard time being on this planet, and I don't really want to be here sometimes. And that's basically declaring that this human experience is somehow not divine, that this human experience is somehow not cosmic, that this human experience is somehow not universal. Do we hold tones of separation? Yeah, that was the choice. That's the beauty of this realm. We have free will choice. If you experience chaos, you choose chaos. If you experience separation, you choose separation. You only experience what you choose. Everything in this realm that is in your direct path is by choice. Whether it's an inherited condition choice, or whether it's a conscious choice, or whether it's a compilation of both, it's still choice. There is nothing happening to you. It is happening through you. And nothing happens to you by accident or coincidence. There is no injury, disease, sickness, or even death that is coincidental or accidental. Everything is intentional. Souls come into and out of this realm based on contracts of agreement. And if a contract is agreed upon based on victimhood, perpetrator, chaos, then that's the line that unfolds, and that's the line that they go out of. Or hopefully, if it's caught, they can shift out of that line into a more harmonious line where the death doesn't end in destruction. But this is what we've understood over many lifetimes. This is also why many in this incarnation claim embodiment, but are not actually understanding of what that means. Why? Because they haven't truly honored from a place of sovereignty. That word seems very elusive, and I feel that in the collective. Like today, when I was on a call with Akandara, it was beautiful because that was one thing that was continuously reflected. She was like, I can feel like when you say that word, and when I say that word now, I can feel it. I can feel it. Like I understand it, because all the chains and all the anchors that were blocking the heart from understanding sovereignty, not the definition of the word. Sovereignty is a tone. It's a tone. It's an octave of source. And it upholds a pillar within you that is always and ever honoring. Damn delicious feeling it is. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're not concerned with other people and their thoughts and their feelings. You're not concerned with how they will receive things. You're not concerned with carrying the weight. None of that. You're not carrying the weight of anyone or anything. Why does it matter what someone else thinks of a choice that you make? Why are you choosing to carry that responsibility? Okay, so like for myself, I have entered an agreement with some amazing, beautiful, wonderful souls. And I realized upon the agreement, as it began to play itself out, I was in an exchange that was not fully aligned to my sovereignty. And because there were roles, titles, rules, there was hierarchy and servitude present. That is not in alignment with sovereignty. No one is higher than anyone else. The only thing that's at play is frequency and vibration. There are lower vibrations and higher vibrations. We are either pulled up in vibration or down in vibration. And if we are not exchanging from a place where we can be pulled up in vibration, then we will continuously agree to be pulled down in vibration. This is why making a sovereign choice to exchange with a fellow pillar who can exchange in a way that allows freedom, because they are free in their sovereignty, but also holds a tone of mastery that you yourself witness and recognize within yourself, and are honoring that that's exactly where you are feeling your rise into your own inner mastery and your own inner ascension taking you. You feel it. That's exactly where you're aligning. So why wouldn't you want to exchange from one singular point of, let's say, group, instead of 3 or 4? Because 3 or 4 fragments your energy. Why do you need 3 or 4 spaces to be present in? Why do you need 3 or 4 outlines for you to follow? Why do you need anything? In my space, everyone that's here that's from this space, I don't lead the space. We all gather together, right? Every single one in there is a pillar of light, and our gatherings, everyone's voice is heard. And, as it grows a little bit, there's going to come a time where I'm just going to have to extend the invite as to, okay, if you guys want to get on and share what you're moving through a little bit before we get started, we'll start a little bit earlier. I don't have a schedule that is constricted to only putting an hour or 30 minutes into someone. My schedule is free, because I understand that when I connect, it's going to be all of me, not a part of me. Not a part of me. I don't give a part of me. And now that I've chosen to give a part of me, it feels really uncomfortable. It really does. And it has nothing to do with the people. It has nothing to do with the people. I love every single one of them, just like I love every single one of you. It has nothing to do with the people. It has everything to do with the frequency in the exchange. As a guardian, I understand. Yep, savoring those free, let freedom ring. Yep, you guys know, let it ring. Those choices of freedom have been so profound, so profound. And every one of you know, right, that are here from the group. I love it. I love you guys. When you're free, there is no need to do anything. There's no need to choose anything just because it's available. And what I've realized is when I answered this choice, when I made this choice to step into a fellow offering, and when I agreed to step into a gathering, another gathering, I had to revisit like why. And one of them was because I was a little bit taken aback by the invitation. And instead of just saying, I need a minute, let me sit with it, let me see, I just answered. I didn't allow myself an opportunity to be with it because I also felt the compulsion and the need to in that moment of exchange, because that was the presence of the exchange. And guess what I did? I honored that instead of honoring my voice, instead of saying, nope, that's not aligned. If I wasn't choosing it prior to the invitation, then I wasn't choosing it. I am aware of everything that's in my awareness. I don't need someone to put something in my awareness to attempt to capture my attention to say, are you sure? Are you sure this isn't what you want? Are you sure this isn't what you want to do? Or let me give you some incentives to be here. Because that's an aspect of self-sacrifice and requesting self-sacrifice. That's an aspect of like hierarchical servitude. And I don't feel like in the spiritual community we have spoken about this enough. I don't feel like many people feel like it's okay to, which is kind of sad. Because people have there's this misunderstanding that if you express sovereignty that you're alone. I have never been more surrounded by unconditional love than I am right now. Never. I am surrounded by the most amazing group of souls with the most unconditional mirror reflection of choice. It is amazing. Amazing. Right. Well, if I had desired it, first and foremost, I'm going to remove desire out of that. If I was asked to be involved in something, then that's basically the extension of invitation should always and ever stop at what, like, if something passes in front of our awareness, that's all we need. If it passes in front of our awareness, we acknowledge it, but we don't choose it. That's all that's needed. If there is an extension to say, hey, why don't you come do this? That's actually a force and manipulation. I know it doesn't seem like it, but think about it. You are always and ever aware of exactly what you need to be aware of. No one needs to bring anything into your awareness. You have everything in your awareness that you need. So there is nothing that anyone needs to place in front of your awareness to capture your attention. And that's what it's about, capturing attention, to pull you into a space of an exchange that wasn't aligned to you to begin with. If it was, you would have already been aware of it anyways, right? So yes, absolutely, Mina. I love that. Bathing in a love cocoon. That's exactly what it feels like. And it's interesting because I've expressed this choice and just the profound expansion and deeper understanding of mastery that came with it through myself and all of those in my container that are birthing this along with me, because we're all doing it together, every single one. Every single person's contracts have been understood, called in, or are in the process of closing after being understood, accepted, and called in. So there's that freedom, there's that unity within the self, and all those aspects are coming back in and are unified. It's very, very powerful, because then we get to feel what it is like to experience unity within. So when I have expressed this to, if I express this to anyone that is not willing and ready and able to receive it, or is denying themselves their own sovereignty, they will feel like, oh, something's wrong. this sovereignty seems very lonely. It seems like the inner child's not having fun. It seems like there's no the experiences of community aren't there because you're choosing sovereignty. That's the distortion right there. The collective distortion of what sovereignty really is. Therefore, we have manipulated that word into saying, in order for you to understand sovereignty, you must gather and you must engage and you must exchange. And that's distortion. That's not true community either. True community should always ever be a free-flowing choice of what was aligned to you in the now moment. And if that free-flowing choice, again, if we're not checking in with ourselves, and like when it comes in front of us, when we sit with a choice, we should, interestingly enough, actually know what I'm hearing. We shouldn't have to sit with it. There is an immediate response right in front of us immediately. It's either a yes or it's a no. When something comes in front of our awareness, it's either like, oh, yep, that caught me, that pulled me in, or it just keeps going on by. We should never have to sit with it. If we sit with it, we're attempting to decide, which means we're saying, I'm not really for sure what I should do. When you always know what is here for you and what you should engage in exchange in. So on the heels of that, I'm going to express, if something comes in front of your awareness and you're drawn to it, the only thing before you make the choice, if it feels like a yes, is say, okay, why am I choosing it? Why? What is the why? What is there that is not, what is there that I am able to receive of myself that is not already available within me? And if it's going to offer continuous expansion and mastery, that's amazing. If it's just a set of outlines and guides and teachings, then that's limited because it's data. Data is only and ever, the depth of data is limited to the belief of data. It doesn't go any deeper. A heavy-weighted blanket when I can emerge at my own time, deep sigh of relief, not responsible for other people's actions, decisions. Yes, weight off shoulder. Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, I felt that, you know, getting ready to come into a conversation with a fellow sister in regards to all of this just yesterday. I could tell where I was carrying that weight. Oh, thank you, my dear. The first time I put on mascara in a minute. I love you. Thank you, Steph. Be safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening. So, as we shift into some calibrations here, because we are in a state of reclamation right now in contracts, a lot of times this is declared and stated, but it is not understood because the choices are actually not reclaimed. They're just continued, meaning no choices end up coming in. Maybe it's a new offering, but it doesn't mean it's a new choice. Maybe it's a new gathering, but it doesn't mean it's a new choice. It's just the same choice with a new environment, but same energy exchange. There's nothing new about it. It might have a new title, but that's it. So this is also for those of us that stand up and offer, this is being conscious of what you bring through and honoring that it does not have to be fragmented in order for you to be able to reach the collective. It does not have to be fragmented in order for you to receive yourself back from the collective. And it does not have to be fragmented in order for you to witness and understand what that support feels like, because that you're not really understanding it. You're just chasing. You're chasing one offering after another. You're chasing one appointment after the other. You're continuously chasing a remembering that's not actually in motion. So I hope that this offers a moment of deeper witness, of deeper understanding. I know for myself and those that I've been connecting with, it really, really has brought that. And I can now go into a space and understand that I'm bringing my voice, I'm bringing my sovereignty, but I don't have to, I'm not committed to upholding anything else, any rules, any regulations, anything else, because I will not choose to limit myself in a way that dims my light. And in a position of distorted authority, your light is dimmed because you're not fully in sovereignty. So I would just invite you to take a moment to check in with yourself and to see, what are you choosing and why are you choosing it? What are you choosing and why are you choosing it? Okay. All right, you guys. So I'm going to all right. There we go. Just had to clear everything off. So I would invite you now. I'm going to get some water here. By the way, if anyone is driving at this point, I would invite you to either pull over or just come back. Because as we go in and out of consciousness, I just don't want anyone attempting to drive going in and out of consciousness. So Becca, if you're still driving, I'm about to shift. What and why? Absolutely. Because everyone, it's interesting. When we talk about our purpose, everyone wants to know, what is my purpose and why am I here? And it's interesting how it's projected in that way. What is my purpose and why am I here? And they're seeking, what is my purpose and why am I here? Instead of understanding that the what and the why exist in every choice. Okay, Becca, love you. As this is a realm of sovereign free will choice, your purpose is to be in the presence of your highest sacred sovereign authority. It is to be the frequency of that state of consciousness. It is to exist as a more harmonious and unified state of self. Everyone's seeking a title and a role like they have a job to do, and this is not a job. If you want a job that's available, like you can do a 9 to 5, but this is not a job. This is simply a state of being. The what and the why are the choice. What are you choosing? Why are you choosing it? Not what is my purpose and why am I here? Because both of those lie in. What are you choosing and why are you choosing it? Yeah. Yeah, it's a way of being. It's a way of life. Absolutely. And then that alleviates, feel that. That's like an alleviation of, why are you choosing to carry the need to find something that is here already? It's not outside of you. It's not we've had the titles and we've had the roles, okay? We've had those. We've had the titles, we've had the roles. We're here to reclaim the titles and the roles so that we can be in a unified state of I am. So we're not here as kings, queens, priests, monks. We're not, that's a part of the remembering, and that's fantastic, but that's not, that should not be what you cling to, because that's attachment. Needing people to know that you were a high priestess of Atlantis, okay? Like, that's a declaration of needing someone to see you instead of having it from within and just enjoying the experience. And the only thing that should come forward from that space is the presence of being, not of I am this and I am this and I am this and I am here to do this. And because I was this, only I can do this. Well, true. Yeah, your signature resonance can only come through you, but that's also a declaration of distorted authority right there. I'm so grateful to hear this, Cindy. I'm so grateful to hear this. This is a big one, and my hope is that others will allow themselves to take this in from a space of understanding that it's okay. Like, I have the most amazing, I'm surrounded by the most amazing soul family. And we have this perception that, like, when you talk about connecting into multiple other groups, like, for some reason, I think we feel like we need to have like 30, 40, 50 connections at one time in order to have family and have friends and have, but that's not it. We are here exchanging agreements, which is It's energy. And if we are still embodying and incorporating our own energetic reclamations, then we have a capacity, which means we should really only have a set capacity of exchange. So if we are overextending, we are fragmenting ourselves so that we can reach more people. We're fragmenting ourselves so that we can experience through more people. We're fragmenting ourselves so that we can do more. We're fragmenting ourselves so that we can project ourselves into the realm, into the reality of others, because we feel like we need it. So therefore we place it there. And because the invitation is open, because the invite, the contract, the creation, the gathering is created in a way, it allows it. It allows it. So a true council of light, is birthed through a pillar of sovereign source, sacred unity within the self. For this realm, it's about sacred union within the self. And from this space, you emit a divine frequency of source, and others recognize and resonate with that, and they flow to you, and through you and that connection with them, divine union is experienced in the eternal now. It is experienced in the, just like right now, we gather, we exchange, then we go into another experience. We gather, we exchange, and if we create councils from a place of need, we are distorting the whole intention and purpose of a council, which is, it's free, but it's also by choice of frequency. Where are you frequentially? Councils are not hierarchical placement. You can't just say like, and I kind of wish I had not mentioned this sooner, but I did, so I claim it. Just because you lead a space doesn't mean that you are guiding a council. Birthing council gatherings, that's a guardianship role. This is why when we enter into connection points with inner earth councils, cosmic councils, we receive a frequential invitation, we choose to accept it, and then we go in and we exchange. But it is frequency based. We cannot just receive it just because we hold authority over it, meaning, well, because I know it exists, I can access it. Because I know these words, and because I know these places, and because I know these beings, I'm going there and I exist there. I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying through that line of experience, it's distorted. Therefore, not all of you does. There might be a pure aspect of you that does exist there, if in fact that is your soul truth. Or you've just projected. You've projected a situation so that you can claim it. There is a reason why we hold the frequencies that we do. It's because this was what was bestowed upon us from Source. Because outside of this realm, there are not many realms that have free will. Because the purity of sovereignty is not hierarchical, but it's a divine gift. It's a blessing where we are given an opportunity to experience Source through a new experience, a new journey of mastery. It's about mastery. So we're given a bestowed opportunity, and there within that ray holds a master experience, and we remain in that range of mastery until it is mastered, and then we ascend, and we are then embodied ascended masters of that tone, such as will and power. That's what's in play here right now. We also have spiritual intelligence, unity consciousness. I mean, like unity consciousness holds a lot of those, but right now unity consciousness and all the master rays within it are what is available here. You're very, very welcome. You're very, very welcome. Thank you for receiving. And, I understand that there are many that will receive this and probably be triggered and I understand that, and possibly deny and say, well, but this is how I'm meant to offer, or this is how it has to be offered. This is the way my templates are designed. Your templates are octaves of mastery, and none of them are designed around control, separation, or hierarchy. None of your templates of mastery hold any of that, or they wouldn't be templates of mastery. Okay, so if you claim that your templates hold a design where you are actively experiencing something outside of yourself, and because our templates of mastery are held within unity consciousness, that's already a distortion. Okay, so I would like for everyone to allow themselves an opportunity for a new choice. The path, we have one path here. That's just simply the path of the continual unity of self. We unify through choice. We make the next higher choice. We master what is in that choice point. We allow ourselves to accept, reclaim all aspects of self that have been extended through exchange. We move into the next choice point, move through the experiences with others within the self. We then, once that contract is complete, we reclaim, we move upward again. And there are spaces where that evolution can happen together, but that must be the contract of agreement. And the majority of contracts out there through group spaces are they're fragmented, they're looped, they're repetitions, they're not evolutions. So it basically takes true remembering, and it constructs it in a way to where the only thing that you can remember is what you believe, what others believe. And because you're being bombarded with all the words and all the thoughts and all the beliefs of others through their own Akash, the planetary Akash, your own Akash, what is yours? What is yours? So, yeah, thank you. Thank you. I would like to step into offering. I'm hearing it thundering, so I'm going to, no surprise there. This happened earlier when I was in a call and we were reclaiming these sovereign aspects, and a storm came up, and then it calmed down. I went inside. Now a storm's coming again. So everything outside of us is a reflection. Even the environment, even the planet, nothing is outside of us. So we're experiencing one form of reality right now, but it's not the true reality. Everything that we view with our physical eyes is what we are projecting. Everything. Your physical eyes are wired into your brain. Your brain and your mind are one. Your mind, your psychic senses are one. And everything that you receive, you project. This is why it's very, very important to move through initiations of consciousness and not in these initiations of fragmentation, because initiations of consciousness begin to rewire the system, which allows for the ability of true inward viewing, but eventually it will allow also for the reality of this realm to come in through the self and be experienced by outward viewing. But inward viewing takes place first. It always is going to start with inward viewing and reclaiming the projections that have been getting in the way. Everyone thinks they're accessing their third eye because they can receive all the information. That's not true third eye. I mean, it's the veil of third eye. It's part of it. It's going. I don't know that it's leading into an open third eye, but it's not, because everyone is carrying projections through the psychic right now, and therefore the third eye is still blocked by projections of psychic distortion. Because right now we're in an era of spiritual intelligence. And because we can see everything and feel everything, we're also feeling on a very limited level, and we're seeing on a limited level. Believe it or not, it's still limited because it doesn't go deeper. It's data exchange, which is one line, one set of frequencies. Consciousness, source, the umbilical cord to your monad, that is another. That type of information is wisdom and truth. which is another ray of mastery. Wisdom and truth, will and power, those are all points of mastery. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for expressing that. It's not about convincing, it's just about expressing. And where resonance is, resonance is. So as we move forward, as we move into this, I would invite you once again, as we begin to shift into the breath, and as we begin to shift into expanding within this truth from a place of activated light, spoken activated light. All of this has been activated light, but from a place of just a different expression of activated light. My invitation right here is to release any attachment, any condition, or any expectation that you hold, even to those that you love dearly. For myself, my fur baby Starseed, I love him, but I also recognize where there has been attachment and a need to control. Right now, storm's brewing. I know he gets scared. There's that part of me that's been clearing that wants to run in there, shut this down, and just go be with him and comfort him and console him. But if I'm there to show him that everything's safe and secure, how can he understand and learn on his own that there is nothing to fear? If I am consistently projecting myself and putting myself in the way of him, then he is not able to view himself from a place of safety and security, because I am the one that's saying, you don't need to view, let me show you that you're safe and secure. That might seem kind of odd, because he's not just a dog, but he is a dog, but he's not just a dog. He's a very conscious, beautiful soul. And because he is a part of my soul connection, it is very, very important, because he is a direct reflection of me, that I honor and allow that which is sovereign and sacred. Even though that human conditioned aspect really wants to go in there, I'm also allowing myself to reclaim that in the exact same moment that it wants to. I pull it back, I call it in, I claim it, and I allow it to become whole once again. I just don't follow that line. I feel it. It's there. That's that line of attachment, the distortion, the data, all of the things. I just don't follow it. I allow it. It's there. It's okay. I accept it, should I say, but I just don't choose it. Welcome back, Becca. Thank you, my beautiful souls, for hanging in there with me thus far. We're going to shift now into some calibrations and anchorings within the ranges of consciousness which directly reflect the truth that has been expressed. So if you have a moment to hang in there with me for a little bit longer, I would invite you to just begin closing your eyes and dropping in. And we will first begin by dropping into the body. If you don't mind, I'm going to take a 2-second pause. I do have one of the dogs. Hang on. I do have one of the dogs that's out here because it's getting ready to storm. I'm going to get him inside really quickly. So if you guys can just give me 1 second. Never mind. Never mind. He said, nope, I don't want to. So it's okay. He didn't want to. Oh, never left. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I honor his choice. That's what he chooses. So I allow. Honor and allow. Okay, my loves. Just begin dropping into the breath. Allowing yourself to acknowledge and honor that everything is there within the breath. Everything that you need is there. Even what is spoken here is not, what I'm saying is not needed by you. Nothing I said was needed by you. It's just a pure expression. And you accepted and received, and together we harmoniously experienced everything that is brought through as we move into this wave of activation. All I am is a conduit of my source self. I'm a conduit of my source self, and where I am connected to my ranges of mastery. And all I am doing is simply opening up and inviting you in. Daria sukurkimbia soria, narishia tarkite bato shakar. Maria sekin dari ukuri, nariku riantake ku. Tak ku. Tukku, tukku, tuk, tuk, tuk. Dropping in, allowing the sounds of light, the sounds of tone, the sounds of vibration to flow, allowing the words to be music notes that are just passing through. You do not need to hold on or attach to any of the words. Taradi sukurukumate yoshiatare mikiakari. Rumatakisiata kiarin masiataya katayo shiakurum. Taya samarikia triukuria katayo suku. Narishiakuri india sakere yakai. Requesting to receive calibration tones and octaves of purity and purification. Requesting and accessing these through my master tones and my master keys. Please declare I accept, I receive. Shinia Marakiawa. Shanamia Kari. Shanamia Kari. Shanamia Kari. Satatatata ka. Satatatata ka. Satatatata ka. Ka. Dudu Kariana Maria Siari. Madarasiari. 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 Just breathing and feeling yourself expanding within the light, within the tones, within the calibrations. Feeling as the codes, the vibrations flow through you, solidifying the truth of choice and sovereignty. Ndari sundari yukua. Marishoteya, mashateya, mashatai, ai, 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 Singiaru Shamarakia Torishia Korinia 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 Ko. Anchoring into the line of time or the line of experience that upholds the tone of purification. Tuk 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 Maruashu. Tuk 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 ruku. Takai. Sha. Ah. 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 Feeling it solidify and anchor. Feeling it solidify and anchor to the base of the feet. Suryo, 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 Taki turku maka ai marketik ai marketik ai marketik ai marketik ai ruku ku 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 ku. As we call in and allow the reclamation of extended lines of energy to come into unity within the heart, reclaiming those projected through the mind, allowing them to come in, flowing through the portal of the heart. Please declare, I accept, I receive. Marakia sate shundaria. Marakia satoshia. Indaria sukaya. Indaria sakaya. Sukuya marketokoshia karte urku a. Urku a. Urku a. Ri nasi asu. Allowing and opening, feeling the flow, feeling the freedom. Ingarishi marakia teokai, Ingaria sakai, Marakusha yandi asaterukuya, Indarisi kuashi, kuashi, kushi, shi, and thank you for receiving. Final anchor point coming into Soul Star, solidifying and anchoring the purity of octaves and the tones of freedom. Requesting to access and channel, requesting access to Sovereign Source calibrations through Soul Star. Please declare, I accept, I receive. Kuyandia. Inamanadikiku atiasia tarkindario. Tarkituku, taridikuku, taridituku, taridituku, tariditu. Shatatatatatatatata. Inanasiki arukote shukotai makotiai. Shatiaku, 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 su, 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 su. narishia koriatia sukai maria. Shinatia sutayu kuyatia. Narishiaku, narishiaku, nata shia ku. Shanasitayu Shania sukayu. Tarishini kiatia suteyu. Narisiateyu, sateyu, 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 sateyu. Sa, 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 and just allowing, allowing, allowing the openness, the expansiveness of the heart, higher heart, wing space, the opening, the allowing of all to flow in and all to flow out, the opening, the allowing, and the surrender that comes with the freedom of choice, the freedom of allowing, and the sovereign, sacred authority to uphold the freedom. Kiatari shiakua, arinda seiko andori ashiaktere pateshukuya. Masculine, feminine, unified. As above, so below, unified. As within, so without, unified. And we seal and close. We seal and close and integrate. We close out all lines that are not aligned. We seal all aspects of self through the heart, allowing wholeness, completion, and unity. Just please take a deep breath. Expanding within. Acknowledging that all has been activated and all has been integrated. All is whole and complete. And so it is. Thank you all for receiving. Thank you all for receiving. I am super grateful to everyone that chose to be present, that chose to invest your awareness, that chose to receive without judgment, shame, or guilt, without denial. You are so very loved always from within. You are so very worthy, accepted as always from within. Everything, 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 everything is in here. Everything. There's nothing that I gave you today. Nothing. You just received yourself. That's all you did. You just joined, you just dialed in and received yourself. That's it. Okay? Love you guys so much. Closing this out. Shindain, dain, 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 sotairi, matin dari, matin dari sute. Bari shokori, dainda, sakara, indai shu. Gatai, matai, indai shu. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are complete, and so it is. I love you all. Enjoy the rest of this most beautiful, amazing, blessed day. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next live. So until then, Adonai.